Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to my Game of Thrones Legends mobile game content. So today, folks, I want to talk about something that I'm fixing to sit down and get in the middle of, and I figured why not make a video about it while I'm in the process. What I want to talk to you about today is skill book farming. I want to talk to you about one of the best ways to do it and why it can be so important. A lot of times when you get your hero levels up to a certain point, you get to where I'm at about right now. You get to a point to where you get your skills pretty high, and these are the ones that you usually will always skill book farm for, because this one right here, the trait, it levels up on its own just by the act of you unlocking stars and leveling. This one right here, though, the skill is something that you have to actually farm these skill books for to level up. It costs you food, it costs you the novice skill fighter book, and then up until a certain point, you use the apprentice fighter skill books to level up your skills. Now, when you get to 7 stars, I think it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When you get to 7 stars and your skills start to get like 8 and 9, then you will use the higher level skill books, and I really don't have a use for those right now because I don't have anybody that high. You can see when you look in your inventory all the different types of skill books that you've collected so far. You have the apprentice versions for each class, and you have the novice versions for each class, and you can see how many you've got. Then you get into the expert strategist skill books, and those are the ones you use for your top level skills. So basically, at the point that I'm at right now with 5 and 6 star heroes, I'm basically just hoarding these because I will not use them until I actually get some max 7 star characters that I actually want to raise their skills on. And then you get the master version as well. That's used for the top level of skill. Now, skill books stay in your inventory and you don't really use them until you get to the point that you want to level up a skill. And that's what I'm working on today. The reason why I'm working on 2 different characters, I'm going to be working on Tormund because I need to get his skill up to level 7, which will give me 23% bonus damage, which is a big deal. And I need, let's see, math. I have 55 of those. I need 80, so I need another 25 for him to raise that skill. And that's really not that bad. It's probably about an hour's worth of work the way I'm going to show you how to do it. And it's not really that bad. All you need are some energy refills. And the game has been giving you quite a bit of those here lately. A lot of people have a lot of those stacked up. And this is one of the ways that you can use them and make the most use of them, the most effective use of them. I'm also going to be working on Stannis as well. I have his skill that needs to go up to level 7. It will give me 25% bonus damage to shielded enemies. So that's a big deal. And as you can see, their skills are very important because they raise their primary abilities that they do as a hero. They make them stronger. So they're really, really super important that you level these skills. Don't just forget about them. Whenever you get to 5 and 6 stars, you can kind of get complacent and kind of forget about these skills. But keep checking your main party and look and make sure, okay, do I have everybody in my main party maxed out? Do I need to do some skill book farming? Because these skills are very important and they can really add to your power and your effectiveness of your team as a whole, because everybody works together as a team to kill whatever you're fighting. The stronger each individual member of your team is, the better your overall team. So that's why it's super, super super important. Now let's take a look at these energy refills real quick before we get started, because this right here is what I was talking about, these full energy refills. The game has been giving us quite a bit of these here lately as just, you know, hey, here's a freebie reward for you type of thing. When you turn your notifications on, you get the notification that you've gotten some food or some gold or some energy refills. You go and you collect those, and a lot of times people won't even realize how many they have that are all stacked up on them. I used about 20 yesterday and I had almost 90 stacked up, and I was like, dude, I got to do some skill book farming, because these right here are what you need to do it with. And that's pretty much it. Just time and these, and you can raise all your skills to the level you need them to be. Okay, so I need 25 more fighter skill books. So I'm going to go in and show you where is the most cost-effective place to farm skill books. When you're trying to get the apprentice version of the skill book, what you want to do is you want to focus on the class that you need. Like chapter 1 is a strategist. That's not the one I want. Chapter 2 is a protector. That's not the one I want. I'm looking for fighter. So you look at the lowest possible level. That's a mender. Chapter 4 is a marksman, and then right here is the one I'm wanting, chapter 5. Chapter 5 is a fighter, and it is the lowest possible version of the fighter quest line. And the reason why I say to go to the lowest possible one you can do is because the cost in energy for this one will be a lot lower than if you try to do one farther on down the chain where the energy cost gets higher. You can either choose to farm on hard or treacherous. I just prefer to farm on treacherous because there's other reasons that I'm going to be farming this as well, and that is because I'm trying to level my heroes levels, so I need more silver, and I'm trying to level with food as well in those levels. It takes silver and food to level your heroes, and to level their gear it takes food. So I'm getting some good resources that I need by doing this as well. And treacherous, I get just a little bit more than I do in hard. So for me, the cost of the energy extra for treacherous versus hard is well spent, because I need this also. So I would suggest doing treacherous, and I would go into the easiest one that you can do. Now, you want to do one of the later battles that has more enemies, because the more enemies you have in your battle, whenever you get a drop of an apprentice skill book chest, the higher chance you have to get more. So I usually don't want to do the last one with the boss, because I'm usually, when I'm farming these, I'm doing something else at the same time, and I don't want to constantly have to click on the boss to get the match to continue when the boss pops up. So what I'll do is I'll usually pick this one right here, the one right before the boss. That usually seems to be about the sweet spot for me. I'm not really worried about looking at the color of the enemies in these, because these are so easy that my team is just going to blow right through it. So I don't care if they're fighting, you know, the ones that they're strong against versus weak. I don't care about that, because this is going to be a speed run. So I select this one, I hit next, and you'll notice right now I've got a chest that I'm going to get an epic drop on a piece of gear. I don't really care about gear at this point, because I've got so much epic and legendary gear that I don't need epic and legendary gear. But if you did still need some certain classes of epic gear, you would pay attention to that, because whenever that chest pops up for an epic piece of gear, you may want to bounce over to another type of quest for a different class, so that you can try to get that piece of epic gear while you're at it at the same time. Focus on doing both, because see right here, I got this piece of epic gear and it's for a fighter. If I had needed a strategist piece, for example, and I didn't have the skill book chest pop up for the Epic Apprentice Skill Book, I would have popped over to the Strategist to do this, to get a chance to get that epic piece that I needed. Okay, but it was just a normal skill book. I don't care about the gear, so I'm not worried about this chest. What I'm waiting on is for this skill book chest to turn blue, because that's going to let me know that, hey, I'm going to get the apprentice skill book I need out of that, and I could possibly get 1 or 2 or 3. It just depends on the chance of the drop. But I'm just going to keep on blowing through this until I get that chest to turn blue, and it'll happen here just any second. For me, it usually happens about every 6 battles or so. And I just leave it on auto because at this point, I'm so strong versus this content that I don't even really care. I'm going to beat it so fast that it doesn't really matter. So I'm just kind of doing whatever I'm doing, you know, working on another screen, doing whatever I'm doing, and I just click over here once in a while. And this helps the time go by a lot faster, because whenever you get to the point that you need to farm like 50, 60, 80 of a skill book, it can take a little bit. It can take some hours. So you want to make the most use of your time and kind of, you know, work on something else when you're just mindlessly grinding. This one right here, you see I don't have that skill book chest pop up yet. I'm going to keep on going till I get it. And this is what you do. You just over and over and over until you get the required amount of apprentice skill books you need to level up your skill, or, you know, whatever version you're looking for. But in these matches that you're doing in the campaign, you only have the ability to get the common and the apprentice. I don't think you can get the higher level skill books from any of this content. I think you're going to have to farm that from trials or buy the offer in the store, that kind of thing, to get those, because in these you're just going to get this novice skill book or the apprentice one that we're actually trying to get. Okay, this time it didn't pop up yet, so we'll keep on going. And as you can see, I'm about to run out of energy, but that's okay, because as soon as this battle's over and I set the next one and it asks me for the energy cost, I'm going to be in the negative. I'm going to be in the red. That doesn't matter, because this is where you're going to burn all of those energy refills that you've just been hoarding for no reason. There's no reason to hoard those energy refills. You need to be using them, because if they're just sitting in your inventory, they look pretty as a stack, yeah, but they're not doing you any good. Right here, this is the reason why you want to hoard those energy refills, because you want to get these opportunities to get these skill books right here. Right here, this is going to give me a chance of a guaranteed drop of novices and a chance drop of 1 to 2 amateurs. So I could get 2 amateurs out of this chest. Now you're going to see that I'm red because I don't have enough energy to do this, but if I click on battle, it's going to ask me, do I want to use one of my 61 energy refills? Yes. Boom. And go. And now, when I complete this, I'm going to get some of those amateur skill books I need. Now, sometimes I'll get 2 or 3 of these in a row dropped together, and I'll get like 6 skill books at a whack. And then you got to go back to keep on farming for 4, 5, 6 matches until you get it to pop up again. But this is the most cost-effective way to do that. And like I was saying, there's really no point in saving those energy refills. The reason why is you need to be getting the most out of that energy. You need to be either using it on campaigns or using it on events, or using, and there right there you see I got 1, but that's okay, because I'm just going to keep on going till I get that 25 I need. Now I need 24, so yeah. And you need to be using that energy to get resources to level your heroes. And something else that's important that a lot of people forget is that when you're doing these battles, you're getting hero XP towards your main account. And when you level your main account up, you get a bigger energy pool at a lot of different places in the leveling up process. It doesn't happen every single time you level up, but a lot of the level ups that you'll do, you'll get 1 energy added to your max energy pool. And that's important because the more energy you have in your pool, the more battles you can do per refill. So it makes your time of recharging your stamina a lot more precious. And see, now you see I've got 2 in a row. So I'm going to do the second one right now. And it's costing me 4 energy. It's a cheapest energy cost I can get for a treacherous of this level. If I was doing hard, I think it would be 3, maybe 4 still. So if that's the case, if it's the same cost, then you're better off doing treacherous because you get a little bit more resources per battle. So I'm going to get another drop here in just a second. And I'm just, I'm not even worrying about matching. I'm just letting my crew fight it out on their own because the AI is okay enough to beat this level of content without any problems at all. If it was a difficult level content that where I was pushing the top end of my campaign and it was very, very difficult, then yeah, I'd take over the battle and I'd do it myself. Okay, I got 1 more there. So now I need 23. And now you see we're back to the normal. So I'm going to have to grind up some more until I get to the point that I get that amateur skill book drop again. So I hope this has helped you. There's a lot of new players that are coming into the game and they ask these questions all the time. And a lot of time us older players that have been around since before release, we just kind of gloss over this stuff and we don't even realize that a lot of times new players are still struggling with what's the most effective way to do this? What's the best way to do that? What's gear about? What's skill books about? How do I get them the best way I can to where it doesn't cost me too many of my resources? So that's why these videos are important to still continue to make even later on in the process for all the new players that are out there. So for the new players, I hope you learned something from this and I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoy making content for you guys and I hope you enjoy watching. So I appreciate your time and I'm going to go ahead and farm those like 23 skill books that I need to level up my beast Tormund because I'm going to use him in my event team today whenever I enter the event. So this is going to be well worth that extra damage I'm going to get from that level 7 skill. Alright, well I hope you guys have a good day and I appreciate you watching and thank you for being part of this community and I hope you have fun in Game of Thrones Legends.